Hi, I'm Mike Kiely. I'm with Denison Yachting, and today we're in Vero Beach, and we are aboard the best Outer Reef ever produced by the factory. She's an 86-foot deluxe bridge motor yacht, and she goes by the name of RUFF SEAS. In 2018, this 86 Outer Reef was delivered and commissioned in Fort Lauderdale. The captain who took handover and helped with the commissioning is Diego Sanchez. He's a great captain. He really understands these boats. What we're going to do is we're going to get together on a Zoom call, and he's going to tell us everything we need to know of why, in fact, this is the greatest 86 Outer Reef ever built. Hey Cap, how are you?
Doing well, guys. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I wish you were here with us, but I hear you're in Italy, I think. Is that true?
Yes, we've been in Italy for the past 2 weeks, roughly, commissioning a brand new vessel here in Italy.
From what I understand, we're here on your favorite yacht that you run, RUFF SEAS. Tell me a little bit about her.
RUFF SEAS, very dependable vessel, very seaworthy. We have been on board RUFF SEAS ever since the commissioning. It is a truly go-anywhere vessel. Favorite part about the boat is definitely having the extra power of the C32 engines, along with a full walk-around on the powerhouse. This is the first Outer Reef to have that feature, as well as the three-phase power converter and universal AC unit, which allows you to plug in pretty much anywhere in the world. With a three-phase power connection, it gives you the added reliability.
The three-phase is also much more efficient at the end of the day as well.
It is more efficient, it's more stable, and it gives you actually more of a power output or input into a vessel.
Before we get started today, I want to show you a couple key spots of the yacht, first of which is here in the country kitchen. This is the nerve center of this boat. It's the spot where everything can pass through, start and end. In here, you have a true chef's kitchen. You've got access to the side decks and even the flybridge. This is really the center of where all this goes on. Leaving the galley and coming up the stairwell, this is the second place I'd like to show you, and that's the helm.
It was designed with ease of use in mind. Everything is at your fingertips, easy to control, everything's accessible, and it brings all the controls that you need right to your fingertips.
The thing that I like about this area is there are no unnecessary controls. It is clean, and there's nothing else that the owner needed to have other than what you see here. Leaving the Sky Lounge, I want to point out the third area before we get started, and that's the wraparound decks from the Sky Lounge. These make it so much easier for visibility to dock, as well as maintaining the outside of the boat. Our first stop on today's walkthrough is going to be found all the way aft on board RUFF SEAS, the swim platform. Her Euro-style transom, with stairs to both sides of the yacht, holds all the characteristics of a globe-trotting vessel. Back here there are 4 removable stanchions that close this area in and accent the understated size of this teak swim platform. Next to the stanchions are bulky cleats for tying off your tender overnight after a long day of exploring the shoreline. To light this area up at night, as you tie off your tender, there are floodlights integrated in the Aft Deck hardtop. My favorite feature in this area is the Opaque Mare automatic passerelle and water sports platform. It gets you up to the dock or down to the water for easy diving. It's the perfect place to sit and to dip your feet in the water. At the end of the day, after the last lines are tied and the boat is washed down, the crew pass through a watertight transom door to an area that's entirely theirs. As you can expect from any conscientious builder, the crew area is remarkable with the same finishes as the guest staterooms. The first of 2 crew cabins is found to port, with bunks and a wet head. Across the hall is the captain's quarter, which also has an ensuite with a shower. Forward to the sleeping quarters is the crew lounge with a dinette and galley. For appliances in here, there's a microwave, a refrigerator, and plenty of storage. Located off the common area is the first of 2 laundry centers with stacked melee units. Let's step into this yacht's immaculate and captain-maintained engine room. Powering RUFF SEAS are upgraded twin Cat C32 engines that generate a combined 3,800 horsepower. If you look forward of the engines and outboard, you'll see her Trac Zero fin stabilizers. Aft are a pair of 30 kilowatt Northern Lights generators, more than enough power for this yacht. When RUFF SEAS is underway, she's at her best. It's hard to top the efficient and stable ride because it's the cornerstone of this boat's design. She cruises along swiftly between 8 and 14 knots. When out in open water and on the pins, she sees speeds around 24 knots. When moving at a slow cruise, this yacht has a range of 3,000 nautical miles with 3,500 gallons of fuel. So leaving the engine room, we end up back here in the cruise quarters. They've got some really important stuff here. This is the electrical panel for the whole yacht. It was especially designed by the owner, and the factory finished the dream he'd always wanted, and that's having everything in one place. The nice thing about the design is you have redundancy also up at the flybridge. That makes it so you don't have to come back and forth to turn things on or off. One other great thing I'm going to show you is the stairwell that goes up to the salon. This is at the aft end of the salon next to the bar. You actually have a crew door that you can close to give yourself some privacy in your own private apartment. Let's pick back up on the main deck, which can be accessed from the swim platform or through this custom edition that lets you step on board through the aft boarding gates. The primary thing I love about this aft deck is how stout the design is. What Outer Reef accomplished by building such a large dinette is to cut down the effects of the wind significantly, meaning that you can eat and relax out here more often. Forward on the port side is cold storage that makes sure that this space always has cold drinks or snacks on standby. To starboard is a staircase with teak treads. That connects the aft deck to the tender deck, which is an area we'll be coming back to. For now, follow me up the side deck where we're going to take a look at the bow. A molded gate grants crew and guests access to this Outer Reef's ground tackle. To port and starboard of this molded bow are a pair of fender storage racks. These racks are proof that you can run this boat with limited crew and that Outer Reef has taken some of the stressful steps out of the docking process. Forward and centerline is the Maxwell windlass setup that draws a pair of stainless anchors. Directly below the Portuguese bridge on the upper deck is a second walk-around bridge. Building the best Outer Reef does not happen by accident. RUFF SEAS owner has built many yachts in his lifetime. Most importantly, RUFF SEAS is the 4th Outer Reef that he had custom built. Years of experience on board and at sea made every choice of systems and equipment specific. It's also worth noting that cost was not a factor in these choices. So I understand you took delivery of the boat and started with the commissioning on it. Can you tell me a little bit about that process?
We joined the vessel after it was offloaded from the boat from the ship in Fort Lauderdale. We worked very closely with Outer Reef. The majority of the electronics were configured in Fort Lauderdale, and we had a very close relationship with the yard. And Outer Reef has a service and project management team in Fort Lauderdale. They're very easy to work with, and they really want to give you their best.
Wrapping up on the bow, note not only the width of the side decks, but also how there are access doors that can close these off to cut down on the wind. A floor-to-ceiling glass door glides open as we step into the salon of RUFF SEAS, the most inviting livable space on board. There are plenty of areas in the salon that endear this space to guests, first of which is this bar in the port aft corner. It's perfectly positioned next to the aft deck and is equipped with a custom stone bar top, a stainless sink, and a sub-zero refrigerator. A detail I love in this space is the leather overhead and the polished stainless handholds that are mounted to it. Up here we also find dimmable LED lighting and speakers that tie into the AV system. Forward of the bar is where you'll be spending a lot of time. There are a pair of sofas here with an L-shaped sectional on the port side and a 3-seater sofa to starboard. These are on either side of the coffee table and offer you a great view of the TV on the forward bulkhead. Aft in the salon is a set of stairs that I pointed out earlier when we left the engine room. From here, follow me forward as we make our way into where we started today's walkthrough, the galley. This chef-inspired country kitchen is one of the most essential spaces on board this yacht. Once you step inside, you are transported into your home away from home. This is partially because the big windows are reminiscent of a landlocked kitchen. It's also because it's loaded with top-of-the-line professional appliances. Everything is centered around the oversized island with seating on one side and appliances on the other. The island counter is the same stone that makes up the main counter space running up the port side of the galley. The other key appliances in here are the oversized fridge and freezer that sits next to a 4-burner Wolf cooktop and oven. The galley is also equipped with a large sink and dishwasher. Opposite the galley to starboard is a dayhead. Another great aspect of the 86 is the amount of storage that's found in seemingly every available space. Forward of the galley island, we see an inviting raised dinette. This will likely be a place you will eat a lot of your meals. On both sides of the galley are a pair of watertight doors that lead out to the side decks. Before we move on to the guest accommodation, follow me up these stairs where we'll take a look at the Helm and her deluxe bridge. A fully adjustable Stid Helm seat faces one of the most well thought out helms on the water. In order to meet the owner's expectation, the engineering team went to work on creating a distraction-free environment from which to run this yacht. This is why the area is uncluttered and is easy to find your way around. A byproduct of this are unmatched ergonomics, perfect minimal instrument placement, and workflow. You know this area means business because it has 3 Garmin GPS Map 8624 displays that tie all of the yacht's navigation systems into one place. A few other items to note below the monitor is a searchlight control, a bow and stern thruster joysticks, and an anchor control. Directly in front of the wheel is the CAT engine monitor with engine controls just beyond. Behind the helm and to port is the dayhead for the Helm and the Sky Lounge. In between the dayhead and the stairs is one of 2 watertight doors that open up to this yacht's Portuguese bridge that wraps completely around the front and the sides of the Sky Lounge. Up here you have a seating area and unobstructed view of the foredeck. Stepping back inside and continuing aft, we come to the living area of the deluxe bridge. To me, this is the most impressive guest space on this motor yacht. Not only are there windows surrounding the area to provide guests with spectacular views, but it's loaded with all sorts of creature comforts. Take for example this expanded bar area on the starboard side. This bar gives you every reason to stay up here without much need of going down below. In this area, there's a sink, ice maker, fridge, and plenty of counter space for setting up for an afternoon's worth of food. Centerline in the bar top is a retractable TV. It's perfectly positioned for a movie marathon sprawled out on the couch. Stepping outside from here, let's take a look at the tender deck. Seeing as the entire point of this yacht is the distance she was designed to span, having a great tender system should be obvious.
You've got one heck of a tender up on the tender deck.
Yes, the tender is an 18-foot Novarina tender. It has a 115 horsepower engine. It is very dependable, comfortable. It fit a lot of people when you need it, so it gives you that extra range. In conjunction with the tender, we upgraded the davit or the crane with heavy-duty hydraulic lines, so it's very dependable and it's ready to handle the load.
As you can imagine, it would be incredibly easy to host a large group of guests up here when the tender is launched. When this space is serving guests, there's an open barbecue area forward on the starboard side of the boat deck, In all, this area features a stainless sink and a 30-inch Sea Star gas grill. Another detail up here is a remote wing station allowing you to take control over your yacht and to stand outside and as you move this 86 into her slip. This also can be hooked up on the bow, aft deck, and at her Portuguese bridge. Connected to the roof line, there is a polished ladder that offers the owner and the captain access to the Outer Reef's hardtop. Center line are her short and long range radars. Just after these are KVH satellite domes that provide this yacht with Wi-Fi, phone, and TV service. Forward of these are solar panels that aid in the recharging of the DC circuit when at anchor. Also note the number of skylights up here. These let in natural light and fresh air into the Sky Lounge found below. So we've seen some great spots on board from the upper deck. Of course, here on the main deck, the only thing left is the cabins in the lower decks. We're gonna have a VIP suite forward, 2 twins, and of course a full beam master suite, which is aft. Let's go take a look. This is a huge owner's suite that takes up the full 21 feet of beam, giving you an uncluttered area to unwind in. In here, you really feel the size of the boat. A king-size berth faces forward here and is flanked by a pair of nightstands. This stateroom offers a great amount of both natural and LED lighting, as well as some of the nicest millwork you'll find on a yacht in this class. The starboard side of the master features not only storage, but a desk and vanity area. Aft of the desk is the hers side of the ensuite. His and hers closets are found outboard of the vanities, and the 2 sides of the ensuite are connected by a shower stall. Leaving here and heading forward, we arrive at the charming starboard stateroom with transverse bunks, a hull side window, and a surprising amount of storage. Moving over to the port side of the yacht, we come to another guest cabin, this one with a full berth. At the head of the bed is a hull window. Storage spans the length of the bed toward a TV. The ensuite here has a Jack and Jill entrance into the shared head with a shower. Outside of the shared head, in the lower companionway, is the laundry center. Our last stop on today's walkthrough is found all the way forward in the bow, the VIP. There's a ton of storage in all the guest cabins, something she gets from her upgraded trawler gene. There is also a skylight overhead that can be blacked out, as well as a TV that drops down from the ceiling. After this is the entrance to the ensuite. So that wraps up our walkthrough today on Rough Seas. I'd like to thank you for your time, as well as Captain Diego's time. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, but have a great day.